feel like the only way to grow your online business is to be on social media every single day, posting consistently, posting constantly, trying to keep up with trends, making reels, writing captions, checking views, checking likes, and checking why something flopped, then I want you to take a deep breath, because no, you do not need to build your whole business around social media. Now, don't get me wrong, social media can absolutely work. It can help you get visible, connect with people, build trust, and also make sales. But if social media is currently making you feel a little bit overwhelmed at the moment, or maybe exhausting you, or making you feel like you're doing loads but not actually seeing the results that you want, then maybe the answer is not to post more. Maybe the answer is to actually build a better system. Because what a lot of people are missing isn't another content idea, it's actually a repeatable way to get visible, to generate leads, make offers, to follow up, and actually review what's working in your business. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through a simple weekly growth system that you can use to grow your business without having to rely on social media. Right, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making, especially when they're building their first online business, is thinking that marketing equals social media. So their whole plan becomes post on Instagram, post on TikTok, maybe post on LinkedIn, check the views, get annoyed, and then try again tomorrow. You start thinking things like, if I could just be more consistent, maybe things would finally work. But I'm here to tell you that consistency only works when you're consistently doing the right things. So if you're consistently posting random content with no clear offer, or no lead capture, or no follow-up, with no idea what numbers you're actually looking at, then of course it's going to feel a little frustrating, because likes are not the same as leads, views are not the same as sales, and posting every day is not the same as having a business growth system in place that does the heavy lifting for you. That's why I want you to shift from thinking, how can I post more? And start thinking, how can I create a repeatable system that brings people into my business and gives them a clear next step? So the weekly system that I want to talk to you about is really simple, and it has 4 parts: visibility, leads, sales, and review. And that's completely it. Every week is your job to do something that helps the right people to be able to discover you, something that turns that attention into a lead, something that gives people a clear opportunity to buy your thing, and also something that helps you to be able to review what actually happened. And the reason that I like this framework is because it takes the pressure off of social media. And don't get me wrong, social media can be a really big part of your visibility strategy, which is absolutely fine, but it doesn't need to be the whole plan. So let's actually go through each part. So part 1 is visibility. Visibility simply means getting in front of the right people at the right time. It doesn't automatically mean posting 3 reels a day. What it means is, how are people actually discovering you and your product? Now, yes, that could be Instagram, it could be TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever, but it could also be YouTube, it could be Pinterest, or it could be a blog post. It could also be being a guest on someone's podcast. It could be a collaboration, speaking inside someone's community, or being found through search because you've created helpful content that people are actively looking for. And I think this is where a lot of people breathe a sigh of relief, because if social media feels heavy for you, which it does for a lot of people, it's nice to know that you do have other options. So you don't have to build your entire business on content that disappears in 24 to 48 hours. What you can do instead is work on creating content that has a longer shelf life. So for example, a YouTube video can bring people to your business for months or even years sometimes. Pinterest can send people to your blog, your freebie, your shop, or your sales page. A helpful blog post can show up when someone's searching for something or wants answers on, say, Google. And a collaboration can put you in front of the right audience without having to fight social media's algorithm. So the question for visibility is not, what should I post today? The better question becomes, how can the right people find me this week? And that's the approach that changes everything. Right, so the next part is leads. And this is where a lot of people are missing a step, because getting attention is great, but attention on its own isn't enough. You want people to take one step closer to your business, and that might mean they join your email list, it might mean they download your freebie, it might mean they join a free community that you host, book a call with you, or even click through to your sales page. So the point here is that you need a way to move people from, I saw your content, to, I'm now connected to your business in some way. Because if all you're doing is creating content and hoping that the right person is going to come back later, then you're making things a lot harder for yourself than they need to be. And this is why having a lead magnet or a clear next step is so important. And it doesn't need to be complicated. It could be something like a checklist or a free guide or a mini training or a free community or maybe a quiz. Something that's simple that helps your ideal person, your ideal client take the next step. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm getting views, but I'm not getting sales, one of the first questions that I would encourage you to ask is, are you turning that attention into leads? Because if you're not, then that might be the missing piece. Okay, so the third part of this weekly system is sales. And I know that this is the part that a lot of people can sometimes feel uncomfortable with because it can feel a little bit uncertain. But if you want to make sales, people need clear opportunities to be able to buy from you. Not once, not hidden in one random post from 6 weeks ago, not buried at the bottom of your link in bio where nobody knows what they're actually clicking on. Instead, people need clear, regular invitations to take action. And this doesn't have to be pushy. It can be something simple like saying, if this is something that you need help with, I've created a resource that walks you through it. So by doing this, you're not forcing anybody, you're just making the next step clear. And this is something that I really want you to remember. People cannot buy what they do not understand or what they do not see. And also something that's really important is to realize that they often won't buy something that they've only heard about one time. So part of your weekly growth system needs to include making offers, however uncomfortable that might feel to you. The more you do it is the easier it will become. And you can do this through your email list, at the end of your YouTube videos, in the video description, inside a helpful blog post, after a free training, during a live event or a live session, in a follow-up DM or message, or yes, on social media too. But again, social media isn't the only place where selling happens. Your business needs sales touch points, not just content. So the final part is review. And this is the part that's going to make you feel a lot more in control of your business. So my advice is going to be, don't skip this, because when you don't review your numbers, everything feels emotional. And I know what it is to build a business from a place of emotion. One post doesn't do well and suddenly you're thinking, nobody wants this, or my business isn't working and I need to change my whole niche, offer, and the rest. But when you look at the numbers, you can make calmer decisions. Everything you do becomes more about data, and that changes everything. You can ask, what actually brought people in this week? Did anybody click? Did anybody join my email list? Did anyone reply? Did anyone view the offer? Did anyone buy? What content or activity created the most interest? What should I repeat next week? And you don't need to track 50 things. Please don't do that to yourself. You just need to start with the basics. And this is visibility, leads, and sales. So look at how many people discovered you, how many people took a step closer to you, and how many people bought your product, because that alone is going to tell you so much. The goal isn't to do random marketing and hope for the best. The goal is to repeat the right actions, look at what happened, and then adjust. This is how you build confidence in your business, not by guessing, not by panicking, not by changing your whole business every 2 weeks, but by having a rhythm. Now, this weekly system becomes even more powerful when you place it inside of a 90-day plan, because 1 week is useful, but 90 days gives you enough time to build momentum, to actually test your message, improve your offer, and grow your audience and see what's actually working. So instead of asking, what should I do today? You start by asking, what is my income goal for the next 90 days? What offer am I focusing on? What visibility channels am I using? How am I generating leads? How often am I making offers? And what numbers am I reviewing each week to make sure that my system is working? And with that said, I want to introduce you to this really cool tool that I've been using called the CEO Planner. Now, so many people are struggling, not because they're lazy or not because they're not trying, but they're struggling because they don't know what to focus on every day or week or month. And that means they're mostly doing little bits of everything and they don't have a clear plan which connects their daily actions to their bigger income goals. Now, the CEO Planner helps you to turn your income goal into a done for you 90-day action plan with 3 daily actions for you to execute every day so that you always know what to work on and what action to take, and also how to stay focused without constantly second guessing yourself. So if you want to try it, I'm absolutely loving it at the moment. I'm going to leave a link in the description. There is currently a 14-day free trial, so you can go in, you can put your goals in, create your 90-day plan and see if it gives you the clarity that you've been looking for. Right, so just to recap, you don't need to post every day to grow your business, and you definitely don't need to build your whole business around social media if that is making you miserable. However, what you do need is a repeatable growth system, and that means every week you would think about visibility. So how are the right people going to find you? You would think about leads, which is how are people actually taking one step towards your business? You would think about sales. So how are you clearly inviting people to buy your product? And then lastly, you would make sure that you're reviewing. So you're thinking about what worked, what didn't work, and what kind of needs to be adjusted as you move forward in your business. And that's the rhythm, that's the system. And once you repeat that system consistently, your business starts to feel a lot less random and a lot more structured for success. So with a system like this in place, you can start waking up thinking, what should I do today? And start making decisions like someone who's actually running a business. So like a CEO, calmly, strategically, and without throwing your laptop out the window because one post that you posted got 12 views. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe because I do share practical tips and advice on how to help you build your first online business without the overwhelm, without the hype, and without feeling like you've got to be online 24/7. And if you want to know how to build a lead generating machine for your business, watch the video that I created on lead generation strategies next. I'll see you there.